You've had a look at that footage. What do you make of it?
Context is everything. We don't know what happened before, and we don't know how long this took place or what happened afterwards.
Or even from when they did.
Or when it happened or where it happened. But in itself, this is what forces do. I mean, British forces would do the same. They're up against people who are terrorists, as far as they're concerned, suicide bombers possibly. When anyone has been cornered, say, in the past in Tel Aviv, the security forces hold them under at gunpoint, but they don't get close to them. The first thing he says, strip down to your underwear to make sure you haven't got explosives strapped to you. And at that point, the suicide bomb will either blow themselves up or they haven't got weapons on them. They haven't got charges on them. So taking people prisoner, this is the first thing that they would do if they think they're dealing with terrorists. So it's all about context. But then you don't want them to put their own clothes back on in case they've got something still inside their clothes. You want to give them something. You've got to give them smocks. So where are the 10,000, 50,000 smocks or some other form of basic clothing which the IDF has ready for these eventualities? Maybe they're there, but we don't see it. And again, the IDF are making this up, as they go, which shows how relatively unprepared they are for the implications of this whole operation. And the point is, how long does this last for? If that lasted an hour or 2 hours, that's OK. If this process lasted several hours or overnight and they weren't given alternative clothing, then that's not OK. That's abusive. That's not reasonable. But this in itself is not unreasonable if you're trying to weed out terrorists. Now, then the other problem is processing. The IDF say, well, look, we've taken all these people captive. They've emerged from the tunnels and the buildings. Some of them may well be civilians who are sheltering. Some of them may be Hamas fighters. We've got to work them out. I did some calculations on the demography of Gaza a little while ago. And without going into the calculations, there are by my calculation, there are about 600,000 men who look like this. 600,000 men of about this age, about this facility, and the Israelis are trying to find the 20,000 Hamas fighters, terrorists, that they say they're now trying to account for, either capture or kill. So they're looking for 20,000 terrorists among a population of men of this age of about 600,000. Okay. So this is going to take some time. And when they process them, that too is going to take some time, because these men, say the civilians within them, the journalists who are reputedly among these, they're going to have to prove that they're not Hamas terrorists, or that they're not part-timers for Hamas, that they turn out at the weekend with an AK-47 occasionally. That might take a long time. So this is only the beginning of a process. The IDF have really got their work cut out here, and believe me, they haven't thought very much about it.